Welcome back to the episode 2 of the Great Quarantine Bake Off. If you haven't seen episode 1, it's down below, written in the description. After the opening credits, we will be announcing who was eliminated last week. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so last week's voting was super close. It actually ended up in a tie between Megan and Jordan. And so what we did is we spoke to both contestants, and Jordan, being the gentleman he is, volunteered to let Megan stay in and lead the show. So we have a message from him.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for your votes of support during the first episode of the Great Quarantine Bake Off. Unfortunately, did not make it past this first round, but I had an awesome time and I'm really glad that I joined up. Best of luck to the other competitors throughout the rest of the competition. May the best quarantine baked goods win.
Thank you so much for your kind words, Jordan. This week, the contestants will be baking cookies. So let's go first to Ellen, who is attempting the fortune cookie.
Hi, I'm Ellen. Welcome back to another episode of the Quarantine Baking Show. This week we're doing cookies and I've chosen to make fortune cookies. The mixture to make it is like pretty simple, super easy, but folding them in like the short time frame that you have while they're hot, while they come out of the oven, is going to be challenging. I've made them once like a year ago. They turned out okay, so hopefully fingers crossed that it works out today.
As Ellen takes a break to sip on her rosé, let's check in on Marae and see what she's making.
Hey everybody, thanks for voting for me. I'm happy to be back. This week I'll be making a play on a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup cookie.
Marae is a super talented baker, and it was proven by the fact that she got the most votes from the public last week. Louis struggled a little bit week 1, but is looking to bounce back week 2 with his triple choc fuglies.
Into the bowl, delicious. Oh. Where's my spoon? What have I done with my spoon?
Louis is an avid gamer and has spent this quarantine training to become an esports professional. He plays a range of games, including FPSs and MOBAs. Megan was lucky enough to avoid elimination last week, so she has a lot to prove with her baking this week.
So during quarantine, I've been lucky enough to still be working my full-time job. I'm the marketing coordinator for Lennar Homes here. So I've been working out of a spare bedroom for like I'm on week 5 now, which is crazy. In my spare time during quarantine when I'm not working, I've been trying to, I clean a lot. I've been trying to work out as much as possible, honestly, baking, spending all my time doing that. And honestly, I'm doing a lot of this. What else can you do?
So during quarantine, I've just been doing what I would usually do on my free days. I've been trying to get out of the house and go on walks as much as I can. I've just been exploring my hobbies with like painting, sewing, plenty of board games, puzzles, and all that fun stuff.
During quarantine, I have been trying to just stay busy. I've been going on long walks. I also have access to our roof, so I've been laying out up there and reading a book, hanging out with this one here. She keeps me pretty well occupied. Baking, cooking, Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So I need to fire my cameraman for not actually taking the shots required.
Sorry.
As Louis is confronting his camera operator, I want to remind you, the audience, that you need to vote for who you want to keep in the show this week. So this week we mix it up a little bit and you can vote for multiple people that you want to keep in the show. Now back to the bakers. The contestants are now doing the final process in their recipe before putting it into their oven.
So now we're going to grab a spoon of the batter, and you don't want to do more than 2 or 3 at a time. I'm going to start just doing 2 because you do have to work with them quickly when they come out. So I made little 3-inch diameters. I don't know if you can really see them, and just spread them around. This is probably too much batter, so I'm just going to take some out, spread it around.
These are gonna go in the oven for about 6 to 8 minutes for golden brown.
While the cookies are in the oven baking, let's talk a little bit about the judges. Now the judges are going to be looking at a range of things when making their decisions later on in the show. So they want to look for texture, the execution, the ingredients they used, and also how well it looks like it tastes. It's always nerve-wracking for the contestants to take the cookies out of the oven. The judges are expecting that the cookie is crispy but not overcooked. Alan's cookies in particular require a little bit more of a process when removing it from the oven. Let's take a look.
So I have my cookies out of the oven, amazing. It's got some powdered sugar I'm gonna decorate and some stencils that I made out of wax paper. I've got a flour and a lemon. And I actually don't have a powdered sugar sifter, so I'm using a pasta tool. We'll see how this goes.
So the contestants have finalized their cookies, the decorations are complete. Now we turn to the judges, who are going to look at each of the cookies individually and then decide who they think the star baker is.
All right, here. So it looks like we have chocolate overload. We've got dark chocolate, milk chocolate, and white chocolate. And I think that that's a good combo because you've got like the fruity bitterness from dark chocolate along with the richness of the other two. Looks like maybe there was a little excess baking powder used or something. I see the cookies are quite tall. It looks like they rose a lot. So I'm not sure how the texture would turn out, but they look pretty good.
Oh my God. She made fortune cookies. It's insane. And there's an actual fortune in it. My God. They look really good. I mean, they do look a little burnt and some of them cracked, but this is a really difficult cookie to make. So this is really impressive that she even attempted it because I don't think I ever would do that.
Okay, what do we have here? We've got half dipped, half undipped. A little bit of crumbles, a little bit of sprinkles. Peanut butter looks great, looks nice and moist. I'm in love with it. I mean, you've got my answer. You got my vote right here. Yeah, I'm for it.
So these look really, really appetizing. Actually, they're thick, so they look almost cakey in texture, which is kind of nice given the lemon flavor. I think that would go well together. I like the decoration on top with the simple powdered sugar. It just looks kind of classic. And lemon and blueberry are also a classic pairing.
All right, Star Baker, what do we think? Last week we had Ellen with Star Baker, and she definitely lived up to it this week, I think. I mean, fortune cookies, like, it's so hard to make. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that what I really liked about Ellen's this week was the just the idea, the concept, the bravery.
Yeah.
That's not a easy cookie to do, and it shows her willingness to take on a challenge for sure.
I liked it. It was ballsy. It was brave, like you said, but it's just poor taste with this whole Corona thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't think that. I just think, I mean, personally, I don't love fortune cookies, and when I'm judging, I try to consider the flavor. I try to consider whether the cookie looks appetizing, and that may be a little bit of personal bias, but they were decorated quite nicely.
Yeah.
Somebody else's who were decorated really nicely, I thought, were Marae's. She had the half dipped cookies. She had the fork pattern, which is typical of a peanut butter cookie, and then she had different sprinkles. So she had like sprinkles on some, and then on others she had maybe a chopped nut or some other type of. I thought that was really creative.
Yeah, for sure. They definitely looked appetizing. I mean, if you picked these all up out of a lineup, you'd probably go for that one. What about who else we have? What about Louis? He had so much chocolate, all the chocolate.
Yeah.
Well, Louis got my heart, but I just don't know if I don't know if he's going to pull it out this week with that effort. They look good, but they kind of just look like balls of dough to me, which that works for me. But judging against these others, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just what I'll say about Louis, they looked really good, and I everyone loves a chocolate chip cookie. It's classic. The creativity may have been a little bit lacking. I mean, when you look at the other cookies, not only did they have decoration, but they had some sort of concept theme about them. To me, Louis they were just chocolate chip cookies with a lot of chocolate.
Yeah.
Brooke, what do you think?
I was just thinking the same thing. I mean, it's hard because, they look great, and I would probably eat them and love them. But again, this is a competition, and you have to look at everybody else's. And there was a lot of decorating involved, except for when it came to Louis. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Brooke, what about Megan's?
Ooh, Megan's looked really good. I think the texture of hers looked amazing. The blueberries, it's just such a beautiful color with cookies. And I mean, blueberry and lemon pairing is so good. The only hesitation is the white chocolate chip with the blueberry and lemon. But I don't know, maybe it works really well. It's hard when we don't get to taste it.
I'd be interested to see, what that lemon and blueberry would taste like.
Yeah, I thought it was funny, but I kind of liked what Scott said, where they do kind of remind you of like a muffin, both in texture because they're cakey and in the decoration. They just look, they remind you of a muffin. They look classic and they look really good. I agree, Brooke, with your hesitation about the white chocolate. For some reason, to me, I mean, lemon and blueberry are, they go hand in hand. They're a classic pairing. To me, the addition of white chocolate, it may work. I'm just not sure. To me, something about lemon and white chocolate, I just don't. It seems to clash in my mind.
Yeah, but she took a classic pairing and added her own twist, so I give her credit for that.
True.
Great points.
We'll have to think about it.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a tough one. It's for sure.
So while the judges are discussing who they think the star baker should be for episode 2, I wanted to say a big thank you to everyone that voted and supported episode 1 of the show. And a big shout out to one of our awesome fans out there at Landis. Thank you for supporting us. And let's go back to the judges and see who they've made this week's star baker.
So we had a lot of creativity this week, and it took a lot of deliberating, but we have decided on a star baker, and that star baker for this week is Megan.
Yay!
So congratulations, Megan. You have immunity.
And we will see you in the finals.
So you heard it, Megan is our star baker this week, which means unfortunately the contestants are up for elimination are Murray, Alan, and Louie. So go down to the description below and vote for who you want to see in the finale next week. Finale, where the 3 contestants will compete for ultimate baking glory. Make sure you vote because you want to see who you want to see in the competition you want to see.